So let's keep it 100. He was going to get off. It's not fair to say it. It's an innocent child that was murdered. Murdered. No manslaughter, no nothing. You murdered. George Zimmerman murdered a young boy walking. Nobody knows if they got into a fight or anything like that, but he murdered this boy. I don't care if him as being 17 jumped on this man who was physically fit back there. The biggest issue is he called the police. Police said, do not follow this boy, leave him alone. And he decided to get out his car and do it anyway. That if I'm walking and a dude starts following me, I don't know anything about you, and you jump on me or you accost me, I'm gonna fight you back too. That's anybody's nature. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna fight back. Fight or flight. You're taught that at an early age. This man killed this boy, and his parents will never get that back. I got a 12-year-old and a 2-year-old. I don't know what I might do if somebody murdered my child in cold blood. That being said, we knew he was going to get off. Everybody wants to believe in the justice system. It is what it is. The prosecution's case was not that great. Let's keep it 100. It wasn't that great. They could have done a lot of things better. But the biggest problem that I had was in the beginning of the trial. I only said it to a couple people. I saw some other people touch on it on Facebook too. They picked a jury of 5 white women and a Hispanic woman. Those are his peers. And let me say this before I keep going. I make jokes when I sit there and talk about things. Sometimes they make him all funny, but it's dead truth. I'll just be dead ass serious. That's how I talk sometimes. But when you can't get 5 women to sit in a room and agree to go to the same club or to go get the same thing to eat, where did you think that 6 women would be able to agree on this man if it was murder, manslaughter, or not guilty? The defense set this up perfectly, and for some reason the prosecution went along with it. When you pick a jury, you're supposed to be able to go back and forth with your jurors. The prosecution should have never agreed to a jury that looked the way that it did. It was, I'm not saying it was destined, but a lot of us could read the writing on the wall and knew he was going to get off. It's sad, because he shouldn't have. Because I know damn well, like me, if I walk outside with a gun, period, they locking me up. I get pulled over on the regular just for driving because they sit there and say that I need my car to get inspected at for the emissions test, and they want to lock me up for the emissions test. I ain't killed nobody. Oh, I'm sorry. Some extra smoke is coming out my car, which is going up into the ozone layer. This is going to kill us softly. But this man is out here just shooting random people when they die. But address the bigger elephant in the room. People dying every day, B. They out here killing people every day. And it's not all the white man killing the black man or the Hispanic man killing the black man. It's your brother killing your brother. We killing each other. And nobody seems to understand that this is what, if you believe in the Illuminati or other stuff, this is stuff that people want. They want to kill each other. Racism and slavery still exist. Don't think that it doesn't. Just because Obama's our president, and I love my president to death, I never thought in my lifetime I would ever see a black president. It's great that I got to see one. But don't think for a minute just because we have a black president that racism ended. No, it just means that the white people that are tolerant of black people didn't want to be bothered with other white candidates. They was tired of Bush. Everybody was tired of Bush. Black, white, Puerto Rican, Asian, nobody liked Bush. Except for middle America. And the wealthy white Americans, they still liked Bush. They thought Bush was awesome. Nobody else liked Bush. That's how Obama got here. Just think about it. That's how he got here. Because they didn't trust Bush. America wasn't ready for that type of change. Still aren't. America needs to get fixed from that inside out. Y'all cannot blame Obama for every piece of thing that happens in the world. He's the president of the United States of America. He's not the president of the NAACP. He is not supposed to just talk about race issues. He has over 250 million Americans that he has to sit there and try to appease. He can't just cater to us. He can't. It's not what he can do. He can't just cater to us. He has to cater to everybody. So he has to walk a line. Now, maybe after his presidency is over, he does a lot of talking, speaking. Maybe he'll be out there and he'll be able to push way more race relations than he actually could do in the office. But until then, you got to take it for what it is. He's trying. But it starts here. With you, with me, with everybody. It starts with us. Because you're killing, not you in general, but you as in the people that look like me. We're killing more brothers every day than any of these white people. You think the Ku Klux Klan ain't sitting around happy, watching you black people killing another black person, or another black person going to jail, or a liquor store open up on the corner, or you smoking cigarettes, or they don't care. They are ecstatic. They want their white Aryan nation back. They want everybody of color to be gone. This country was built on the backs, literally backs, of colored folks. Whether they were black, whether they were Indian, it was built on our backs, with the white man as a slave owner. And just because I'm saying this, I love white folks. Most of y'all. I have no problem with white folks. What I have a problem is with bigots. I don't like niggers. And niggers can come in any color. It's white niggas out here. It's black niggas. It's anybody that talks and thinks completely ignorant of what everything really is. Now, when it comes to the trial and it comes to everything else that's gone along with it, what are you going to do now? My biggest issue is that it's a hot stove issue. It's a hot button topic. So it's going to be here for a minute. But what's going to happen 6 months from now? Is it still going to be here? Everybody wanted to support Haiti. Everybody was about Haiti. For about 3 months. Everybody was online. Everybody was talking about Troy Davis. Until they put him in the chair and killed him. Then they gave it another month and it was over. The biggest problem that I have with people is that y'all forget. It's good now. It's great to talk about it. But will you talk about it next year? Half of y'all forgotten about Sean Bell. Don't act like this is not the first time that people have been killed in cold blood by somebody else, and they shouldn't have been killed. Because Sean Bell was killed by police years ago. And the only way y'all will bring it back up is if somebody else makes a mention of it on the anniversary of when it comes up. And then it's, oh, I remember. Half of y'all done forgot about Rodney King. This happened in my generation's lifetime, to sit there and see an actual, sure enough, riot. My mom talked to me about this stuff all the time. I wasn't allowed to see the watch riots. I didn't get to see those. I wasn't allowed to see all these marches, except for one march. The Million Man March. I was there. I got to see that. That was my senior year. No, actually, I just graduated high school. So I got to experience a march, a real march of all these polarizing individuals and people really wanting to band together and do something. It was like amazing to see all these people. But will you remember? Will you remember Trayvon Martin and what happened to him in 8-9 months? Will you still be this angry that you'll want to take part in some type of marches and rallies and things like that? Don't get it twisted. This country is full of shit. We all know it is. But it's our country. You can't just pack up and leave and go to Mexico.
One new email.
Or just go to Canada or whatever. Some of you can. Some of you have the finances to be able to sit there and do that. Most of us, look, you talk about it, you ain't leaving. I can't leave. I ain't going nowhere. So you gotta make right what's going on where you live. Do I hate my country? No. That's why if you saw my picture, if I asked, y'all gonna go out and burn your flag leggings, your flag t-shirts, and everything you wore last week when you was talking about you love your country, or you just love your country because everybody wears that on 4th of July? I love my country. My country don't love me back. I'm a black man, but I love my country. There's no, this generation is, it. I don't want to say it's lost, but this generation is so disconnected from real life. When I say real life, the life off the internet. My generation understood that life. All the generations before that did. They played outside. They knew their neighbors. There's people that live in the same neighborhood that don't know the person that lives two doors away. Whereas when we grew up, the people in that 28 to like 35, 36 year olds, we grew up, you knew everybody on your block. Because y'all sat outside and played together. You was in each other's houses. Y'all ran around. You didn't have to worry about, oh, don't pop up at my house. No, you went and knocked on the door. Hey, is Frankie home? Yeah, can you come outside and play? Sure. Go ahead and sit in the living room and wait for him. We was in everybody's house. My whole block. You go up there and play. You play in everybody's backyard. You run up and down the streets. Street lights come on, you go in the house. Or if you didn't go in the house, like my mother, she had the big floodlight on the side of the house. She blinked the lights. Oh, that means you got to go in the house. Or she called the street. Tell BJ it's time to come in the house. My friend Frankie, his mother would yell outside. She would yell his name, Frankie. We could all hear it. Got to go in the house. The neighborhoods raised these children. We was taught respect. We were taught how to deal with people. We didn't just talk through, let me text you, let me text you, let me text you. That's all I'm going to do. We were taught correctly. This young generation don't get that. We had diverse music where you could hear a little bit of everything. Everything wasn't fuck bitches get money. You had party music. You had dance music. You had people like Public Enemy and KRS-One that talked about political things in their music. So that even though you listened to the music, you was getting taught. And you didn't understand you was getting taught until later. But they was teaching. Blastmaster KRS-One taught me a lot. Listening to Love Is Gonna Get You. You would sit there and hear him talking about stuff in Black Cop and whoop whoop, that's the sound of the police. You get Rebel Without a Cause from Public Enemy. But Burn Hollywood Burn. I mean, can't trust it. These were songs that you would hear on the radio or on the jukebox network that had a meaning. Nice little beat, nice little ditty, and you listening, but they teaching. And then they have videos to correspond to go behind it, and you watching the video. Then it would take the lyrics and put it into that form that you could really sit there and look and say, wow, okay, song rock. But you're learning something in the background. You're learning. Ain't no teaching now. Everybody's clone. Music industry clones what they want. They want Chief Keef type rappers because that stuff keeps the black man down. And it keeps not just the black man, let me rephrase that, not just the black man, because it keeps the white man down. It keeps everybody down that wants to live that type of lifestyle. So how can we change it? We need a figure. We need one polarizing figure in this world, which everybody wants to be Obama so bad. But like I said earlier, until he's out of the presidency, it's not going to happen. And that doesn't mean he's going to want to do that once the presidency is over. But they need that one polarizing figure. There's no Martin. There's no Malcolm. There's no Marcus Garvey. I can't even say Farrakhan right now. He's old. He's older. Let's keep 100. He's older. Al Sharpton? No. There's no Jesse Jacksons out here. They're here, but they're afraid to talk. You got to find that. Each city needs that polarizing figure that can sit there and talk for them. Because the sad part about it is most people are sheep. They're not going to talk for themselves. They're waiting for that one person to stand up and talk for them, and they will follow them. They will follow them to the ends of the earth. The biggest problem is that person has to be somebody that is quote unquote clean. When I say clean, they can't never got in any type of trouble. Once you get into the system, because of the way our lives are set up these days now, If we get a polarizing figure that wants to talk up things that need to be done in our communities to save our people, the first thing they're going to do is go case search him and drag him through the mud through whatever mistakes he's made in life. It's not like back in the day we had to go into the library and do research. It's a click of a button from your damn smartphone. So, it has to be a type of figure that is pretty clean, that hasn't gotten into trouble with the law. Or if they did, they never got caught. Sad to say, but that's how it has to be. Because the powers that be will chew that person up. They'll chew him up. And make people not want to listen to his message. They want him to focus on his past and his history. Oh, maybe he used to sell drugs. Maybe he got locked up for assault. You never know what could have happened to this person. But they will run him through the mud. Or her. What can we do to change? Get your neighborhoods back. Stop letting these dudes stand out on the street. Drug dealers have no type of couth like they used to when we was younger. Back in the day, drug dealers ain't want you to sit. They didn't want to see the little dudes watching them sell drugs. Most of them did it. They would tell little dudes, if you was in the alley or whatever and they was doing something, they'd be like, little man, go over there. This ain't your business, go over there. They walk to another corner to make a sale. They would sit there and tell little young boys like, hey, if you ain't got to live the street life, don't even do it. They didn't glorify it. That's what they had to do. They wasn't trying to breed a whole bunch of other drug dealers. But it started to change. Late 90s, early 2000s, they started breeding them. Young kids wasn't having fathers. That's a sad thing because these men need to step up and take care of their damn kids instead of letting the streets raise them. But young kids out here looking for somebody to look up to. They looking up to the dudes on the corner. Dudes on the corner take them under their wing. They learning it. So then they having babies early because they're used to going out doing what the older folks were. So their little man, instead of wanting them to do better for themselves, I want my little man to be like me. So I'm going to teach him the street life. Snowball effect. That's how it keeps going. That's why this generation is failing so bad. This younger generation is failing so bad. Go meet your neighbors. Do you know your neighbors? If you don't know your neighbors, go talk to your neighbors. Go knock on the door and say hi. My name's David. I've been living here for 19 years. How long have you been living here? Introduce yourself. Go out there and talk to you. My neighborhood, I still know my neighbors. I go outside. I see Miss Allison across the street. I speak. I see Miss Halala right there. I speak. My man Beef live up there. My man Frankie live up there. I go a couple streets up. I know where this person, that person. I know my neighbors. They know me. They see me out on the street. They gonna speak. If I'm sitting outside, hey BJ, how you doing? How the kids doing? This, that, and the third. We have actual relationships where I live at. And we police ourselves. Most of us got kids now. And do our kids come outside and play with each other like we used to? Not really. Kids don't be outside that tough. They start to a little bit, but they don't be outside all the time. Get that back in your communities. Because then you can police your own community. And if you start policing your own community, then they're going to know how to act when they go outside of their community. Because if little knucklehead Joshua was outside acting stupid, and you, being his neighbor, can walk up on him and say, hey Josh, stop doing that. Like, you know your mother don't want you to sit there and do it. Don't make us make a phone call. And maybe he won't be disrespectful. Because in the beginning they're going to be disrespectful. They're not used to that. They're going to be looking at you like, who the fuck is you to tell me what I'm supposed to sit there and do? Because that's what these kids do now. But if he keeps hearing it, he's going to learn. That's how we learn, because we had to keep hearing it. It's repetition. That's how you learn stuff. Repetition. Get this new mayor that we're going to get, whoever we vote for, to find a way to open back up these rec centers, to put these basketball hoops back on these playgrounds so these kids can go outside and play and do something instead of standing on the corner. They can't do nothing else but stand on the corner, listen to rap music. And I like hip hop. I don't like all the new hip hop. I'm sorry. Y'all gonna get mad at me. This dude's gonna listen to this. I don't like Yo Gotti. I don't like Chief Keef. I don't want to play it if I don't have to. But that's what they want to sit there and hear. They like to hear the trap music. They want to hear about the drug game. That's what they listen to. That's hot. Drugs and hoes. That's hot. Get their values back. All they can do is sit in the corner with the iPods in their head or their Beats by Dre's on. I don't know why the heck you ain't got no job, you ain't got no car, but you walking around with $300 headphones on your head. That shit is like ridiculous to me, but that's neither here nor there. But that's what they're doing. They're listening to that music. That's it. And I don't blame the music for what people are doing. Let me not sit there and say I'm blaming the music for what goes on. I blame the music industry for trying to push this agenda out there to people. And if you look online, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I look at a lot of things. I read a whole bunch about some stuff, and some stuff seems shaky. And Google about a secret meeting that happened in the 90s that changed hip hop forever. Google that. If you listen to that, if you read that, it talks about basically secret meetings where they wanted to push the agenda of gangster rap and push the agenda of drug music to corrupt the younger society, to get them to go into prisons, because prisons are not federally based. They're not governmentally funded. They're private institutions that people can buy stocks in and get paid for. And the more people that were in the prisons, the more money that these private organizations will get. Sounds a little weird, but like I said, Google it. It's in there. You can read it for yourself. You might not believe it, but it makes some sense to me, because that's all you started hearing after a certain point. After NWA, everybody wanted to get a group that's like that. Was it just because they were hot, or was it because they were trying to push an agenda? Think about it. You don't know. Next, rallies. These open peace rallies, 300-man march, 1,000 women unite, these are things that have to continuously be done. Don't just do it right this second because of the hot topic. Keep doing it. Once a month, do it. Go to different neighborhoods and do it. They march down North Avenue this time. Next time, go march down Greenmount. Keep doing it. Because those images of strong black men and women and everything, I don't want it to be black people. I want it to be everybody. So these strong images of people banding together, walking for a cause, the young folks need to see this on a regular, not just once and then it goes away. Have talks like this with groups of kids. I literally just go set it up. I don't think that they would have any problems with people going into schools. If you come in there and say, hey, look, I want to have a round robin discussion with some children. We want to do a nice thing. Q&A, we go back and forth with a couple people that are doing this in life, and teach them. Teach them through music, teach them through anything. Any means necessary. Shout out to my brother 5-Star for his Be More STEM project. He's teaching mathematics and stuff through music. That's awesome. That wasn't around when we was young. But he found the way to sit there and do it. These are things that we need to sit there and do. We love to party. We love to have a good time, because guess what? We went through hell. Some of us have. Not everybody, but some of us have gone through hell in life. And you like to turn up. But we need to tune in. Instead of just turning up, tune into these kids and look at them and sit there and say, hey, look, you need to know this, this, and this. They're not teaching you this in school. School doesn't teach you anything these days. And I know this sounds sad to sit there and say it, but it don't. School don't teach you jack. School teaches you what they think that you need to know just to know. But they don't teach you the skills to survive. What are you learning in school? We need to learn history, yes. But in learning history, is it going to affect you now? Yeah, it will. History repeats itself. It does affect you. But these kids don't believe it. They just listen to it. It doesn't. They have to make school touch a nerve for a kid to want to sit there and understand. And then, once they touch a nerve, keep it going. Keep this dialogue and discussion going on. Then you also need to teach these kids life skills. We got kids that graduated high school but couldn't tell you how much of this was sales tax. When sales tax was 5%, when you went into a store, if you had basic mathematics skills, I started working my first job at TJ Maxx. I could tell you what it was without having to punch it in. Sales tax was 5%. What happened to a shirt? This shirt was something 99. Oh, it's this. You give a kid $1, tell him go to the store. They be like, I want to get something to eat. It's 99 cents. Okay, they give him $1. They're like, it's $1.05. Why is it $1.05? 6% sales tax. What's that? Kids get lost. They don't know it. You don't know how many times I've been to a gas station where kids are sitting there looking. I thought this was $1. And they say, yeah, it's $1 plus tax. And they looking like, what's tax? And they like 13 and 14. How are you 13 and 14 years old? You don't know about tax. They teach you percents at a certain age. You've learned this. Were you not listening? Or they didn't equate it to your real life. Equate percentages and things that to your real life. I'm sorry. Trigonometry is not going to help 90% of these kids. Teach them what they need to know to be productive and live. And then the ones that want to go to a higher education, they can learn the higher maths. They can go into the calculus and everything like that. Pre-calculus class isn't going to do nothing for a dude that don't even think he's going to live to see 21. But does that man know how to go out here and work? Are you teaching them to be productive? They need to teach kids way better in school and not just give them book sense, because kids are coming out with book sense and no common sense, and that's a big reason why the government, the country wants to sit there and do certain things. They don't want you to have common sense. They don't want you to come out here and start talking craziness like me. They don't want nobody to be partially educated, to be able to sit there and speak their mind articulately without having to go and get belligerent and curse and yell at you and F bitches and this, that, and the third. They want you to be that. They don't want you just to talk. They don't want you to go into a room and be able to be polarized and talk to somebody and they like listening and hanging on your every word, because they want you to be. They don't want you to really be literate. They want to give you enough that they can keep you under their thumb. Slave mentality, basically. Give you enough that you're okay, and don't give you too much that you can go pass over somebody else. You want to make a stand for Trayvon Martin? Don't go to Florida. Simple as that. There's one color that this country understands. That's green. That's money. Don't give them no money. Don't go to Disneyland. Don't go to Disney World. Go to Disneyland. The one in California, go over there. You want party in the water? Don't go to South Beach. Don't take your towns to South Beach. Stay away. Hit them in that commerce. This ain't the first time Florida has done something jacked up. Think about how they played with the elections. Think about how that woman shot in the air and they gave her 20 years for shooting in the air. Because she's trying to get away from her abusive, I can't remember if it was husband or boyfriend. 20 years. Casey Anthony got off. George Zimmerman, even though his case was weak, he got off. But he did kill this man. Little young man. Killed him. But this woman didn't kill anybody. She fired shots in the air and she's doing 20 years. Violence begets violence. I'm not telling anybody to go out here and start killing no white folks. Don't do that. Because one, the man wasn't white. He's Hispanic. He's just not as dark as the other Hispanics, but he's Hispanic. So going out here and killing white folks ain't gonna help. But what'll help is if you hit them where it hurts and you go into their pockets. Let that tourist money go away. Let tourist money go away. I bet you things will change, because they want to bring that money back. Take it somewhere else. It pains me to sit there and see so many people mad and hurt and upset about something that we knew was coming. We knew this was coming, people. In the back of your minds, you knew he was going to get off. I did. My anger is more towards the people that are talking like, my eyes are wide open now. I see the light. If you're over 20, you should have been seeing the light. This has been going on for ages. It's been going on. These things ain't going to change. Racial profiling is not going to change unless you make it change. It's not going to. Where you going to wake up in the morning and realize that, guess what? As long as you look like this country's not going to give a fuck about you until you make them care. And you make them care not by being violent, but by being consistent. By going to these council meetings. You got to start small. Harassing your delegates. Half of you don't even know who your delegates are in your community. By telling them, we need this here. These kids out here, they don't have nothing to do. We need this. And campaigning to them to go get them to go talk to your Senate. And then get them to talk to everybody else to get there and make a change. You can't make a change if you don't start right here. You can't just go jump and say, we're going to talk to Obama about this. You got to go through levels. Y'all like Meek Mills, there's levels to this shit. Y'all can't start at the top of the ladder. How do you get to the top of the ladder? You had to climb up that bitch, didn't you? Start climbing. Step by step by step. Keep climbing. Talk to your kids. Don't let TV raise your kids. Tell them to get off their cell phones for a minute. And parents, get off your cell phones with them. Go outside and play with them. Activities, all that type of stuff. I just see so many people right now genuinely mad. And I understand why, but then I don't. Because like I said, this is not something that we didn't see coming, people. The problem is the change. How are you going to make a change? What are you going to do to make a change? You ask me, what am I going to do? Because I know you probably like, this nigga sitting here talking. And I'm saying nigga because that's how y'all looking at me. Like, this nigga sitting here talking. What he going to sit there and do? I talk to my kids. Well, my daughter, she's the oldest. I talk to her about stuff like this. Because my mom talked to me. Mom was an educator. She marched in the 60s. She told me all about it. Mom was belligerent. In a good way. She spoke her mind. She still does. If any of you know my mother, from deltas to students that she taught, y'all know my mom speaks her mind. I do the same thing. But you got to do that with your kids. You got to teach them what's right and what's wrong. I had a frank discussion with my daughter, like I said, 12 years old, because she didn't understand what they meant in the song Bands Will Make Her Dance. So I told her. I told her in a nice way. I didn't just come out there and say it's hoes out here dancing around. No, I sat there and broke it down to her. The song is talking about women who like to sit there and take their clothes off to dance around for money, and people throw rubber bands full of money at them. She looked at me and said, that's what they want. Why do women want to do that? Like, it's just something that they like to do. Everybody doesn't do it. She's like, I don't want any man throwing money at me. I was like, that's good. I don't think I want to dance naked in front of anybody. I was like, that's good too. You shouldn't. Talk to them. I know y'all get a little nervous. You don't want to talk to your kids. You don't want to tell them this and that. Talk to them. Tell them what real is. Because if you don't tell them, they're going to learn from TV. And if they learn from TV, it's going to be jacked up and they're going to be out here doing something you don't want them to do. As we sit here and get mad about these issues that are going around, y'all need to look at Congress. Y'all need to watch these laws that they're passing, how they're trying to take your rights away, how they're trying to do a whole bunch of other things. They're trying to take your voting rights away. They're out here passing these laws. We're so worried about the big things. Y'all are worried about, oh my gosh, gays can get married. Why do you care? Are you gay? No? Okay. You believe it's against religion? That's fine. And if you believe that, then that means God will handle those people accordingly. You can't do all that right here on earth. But if you pushing hate towards them, you're not pushing what God wants. Agree with it or not, they're human beings. Let them live. Because gay marriage is not out here killing Trayvon Martin. Gay marriage is not had these 60 shootings and these during this summer. Well, actually, it's probably more than that. That's not gay marriage. That's ignorance of people not valuing human life. So instead of hating these people, instead of hating anybody that's homosexual, why don't you hate the dude that's over here shooting this person? Why don't you hate the people that sit there and say, free my little man? I'm like, well, what's he in jail for? Oh, he shot 8 people. Don't free him, leave him there. Leave Bootsy in jail. I'm tired of seeing y'all say free Bootsy. I'm sorry. Leave his ass in jail. That's what he did. He did that shit. Sit there. I don't even like Bootsy music. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't like it. I don't want to hear it. Y'all make me listen to it. I had to play it when I do parties. Certain times I don't play a whole bunch of it, but I have to. I don't like it. Worry about what we need to do to fix the community. Being a bigot and hating on stuff like that when it comes to like gay marriage and stuff like that doesn't help anybody. Preach love. Preach love. The more you preach love, the more the next man will preach love, and then we won't be out here. Dude, stop shooting this dude because he stepped on your Jordans. I love my Jordans. Come on now. I got a nice little collection here. Do I get mad when somebody step on my shoe? Yeah, I just look at it, look down at my shoe. I gotta clean them when I get home. Damn. I'm not fighting the dude because of his shoes. I'm not gonna try to rob you because you wanted to buy some shoes. I'm trying to rob these little kids because they want to buy some new Jordans. You out there, it's gonna be a quick come up. Go get a job. Go hustle legally. There's hustles out here. There's ways to get money. I don't have a job, but my kids got what they need. They might not have everything that they want, but if they need it, Daddy will get it for them. He might not get it today. I might have to tell you, give me a week, but I'll hustle my way into it legally. Ain't out here selling no piece of rock, no drugs, no weed, no nothing. You find a way. Put that mentality in your kids to go make a way, but make a way legally. We can't keep preaching all this hate. I used to be the biggest hater in the world. I hated everybody that had something better than me. You had a better girlfriend than me, I hated you. You had a better car than me, I hated you. They used to get me drunk when I was younger just so they could hear me talk about how much I hated stuff. There's no reason to hate. They just had a better drive than I did right then. Their mental was in a different place. Now I understand that. And mentally, I need myself to be better because I don't want my kids, especially my 2-year-old son, to ever have to go through what I went through. I don't want him to go to jail. I've seen that. I've been in there. I don't like it. I don't ever want to go back. I don't know how y'all dudes can go in jail. Y'all been locked up 10, 12 times. Man, I've been locked up twice. I ain't never want to see the judge again. I don't want to be in there. I don't want to go up on there, another tear. I don't want to eat no sweaty meat. I don't want to drink no base. I don't like being confined to a cell for 23 hours out of the day. You get out for an hour. I don't want to sit there and feel like I got to take a shower beside 6 or 7 dudes and I'm looking like I don't want them staring at me, looking at me funny, or we all in these little bunk beds, little hard bunk beds chilling together because we made dumb mistakes. I don't want my son to ever see that. I don't want my daughter to ever have to see me locked up again. Luckily, she was young, so she didn't know anything about it. She was 4. She might know now because she's old enough to watch this. But the hardest thing is to call my daughter and she doesn't know where I was. Just tell her Daddy was away for a couple and he'll be back. And when she finally saw me, she ran to me and cried and was like, Daddy, I missed you so much. And I'm like, I don't ever want to be away from her this long again. Get your mind right, BJ. Get yourself in the right place. You got to want more for yourself so that you can want more for your kids. So I'll ramble for a long time. So let me just get to the facts of the matter. Let me break it down to where it is and what I'm really sitting there trying to say so I can cut this off for y'all. Because I know y'all like this nigga talks too damn much. And I told y'all I would. 1. Be vigilant from now until. I know the last couple times things have come up, you might have sat there and loved it for a minute and like, hey, I'm going to march and then you stop marching 2 months later. No. Be vigilant. Keep it going. If you want to make a change, you got to keep it going. You can't just sit there and do it today, and then do it tomorrow, and then next week you think that the next person is going to sit there and do that for you because you're too tired or you want to go turn up. I need to go smoke the hookah, so I'm not going to sit there and go to this rally because I don't want to miss out on the special E-Villa. Shout out to Harold and Helen E-Villa. I love y'all. I'm just using y'all as an example, you know. Something to do on Tuesday is a nice thing to do. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying be vigilant in everything else. 2. Teach your community. You think that one voice doesn't make a difference. It will. And the reason it'll make a difference is because if one little boy or one little girl sees that you care, then maybe they'll think that other people will care. You can't just start by sitting there thinking like, oh, we're going to get everybody together. You got to go one by one because everybody's not going to band together as a group. You're going to have those people who are going to look at you and say, I don't really care. And don't be mad at them. Just be like, okay, move on. 3. Learn your delegates, learn your congressmen, learn these
Three
people.
new email.
Start hitting these people's phones. Start going to their offices. When they have these big open meetings where people can come in and express their feelings, go. Go express your feelings. Tell them what it is. Tell them what you don't like about your community. Tell them what you wish they would change. Tell them what you hope that they'll sit there and do. And if they don't do it, don't vote for them. Because guess what? They work for you. They work for me. We're paying their salary. They got a cushy job. They're supposed to listen to your problems and supposed to help. They're supposed to listen to your concerns. They're supposed to help. But we don't hold them accountable for it. First thing we do is holler at the mayor. Even though the mayor did not do a good job. I'm sorry. I don't think she did a great job. I really don't. I really don't. But we got to start from here to get to there. You can't just jump to the mayor. You can't just jump to the governor. We can't just go yell at O'Malley. Because guess what? You got to go to the lieutenant governor. You got to go down to the mayors. Then you got to go to the president of the city council, through the city council, and all them other people. So you got to start from the bottom and go up. 3. No, that might have been 3. So, 4. Don't just do it online. I love my Facebook statuses. I love a lot of y'all Facebook statuses. Some of y'all be talking some good stuff on your Facebook status. But guess what? If you only got 200 friends, it's only going to reach those 200 people unless somebody shares and reposts it. And those people already know you. Do it in a different forum where it gets a chance to reach more people. Boycott Florida. If you really want to make a stand, boycott Florida. Rallies, marches, group settings. I said, I'm looking on my Facebook. My man Tone is on Facebook wanting to have a big roundhouse discussion with people about stuff like this. And hopefully, I sit there and see my cousin Roy talking about that he wants to, he was talking about filming it for his show. So, I would love to sit there and see if there's a way that we can record it, put it online, put it on TV, put it somewhere where they see some people sitting there talking about this type of stuff. We need that. Because if they're not going to listen to you when you talk to them in person, kids watch TV. Put some music in the background and talk. I bet you they listen. They listen. They like music. They listen. And the last thing that you guys sit there and do, y'all have to love each other. Being racist and talking about y'all gonna kill the next man, we're gonna kill this white man. Trust me, I wish I could beat Zimmerman ass too. I'm not gonna lie to you about it. Y'all wanna kill him? No, because I ain't trying to go to jail. That stand your ground law wouldn't work for me. I'm gonna tell you straight up. If I kill him, they gonna put me in jail for first degree murder. They gonna say it's premeditated, and I'm going down, and I ain't gonna see my kids. The only way to kill racism and violence like that is to kill them with kindness. A lot of y'all, if that know me, that have seen this, should have been able to see a change in me, a little bit of one. Because I try not to get as angry as much. I talk a little more. I let a little more out. I express my feelings again like I used to. But they're not really hate feelings. Because all that hate does is bottle up inside you and it messes you up on the inside. So I'm not going to hate. I don't hate George Zimmerman. I feel sorry for him. I feel he's misguided. I feel like he was stupid. I feel like he did something because that's what he wanted to do. But I can't allow myself to hate him because I'm going to be consumed with it. I hate the verdict. I hate that this country and these people have to see stuff like this, to sit there and see that an innocent life doesn't really matter to certain people. I hate that. But to hate him, gotta let it go. I look at it like this. If his parents could sit there and not express how much they hate him, they just express how much they miss their son, I gotta do the same thing. Why am I going to hate him more than his parents? Because he took their son's life. By the grace of God, thank goodness, he didn't take my kid's life. So if Trayvon Martin's parents can forgive, they'll never forget. they can forgive and just focus on the loss of their child, who am I not to do the same thing? It's a long video. I don't even know how long I've been talking to y'all. It's no, I'm thirsty. It's all outdoors. I want everybody to sit there and just think. Civil unrest, like civil unrest, fighting, looting, sounds fun. I made statuses about it. I was laughing. I'm joking. I'm dead ass serious. I was joking about it. I thought it was funny. People gonna go ride. Let's go out there. Let's go out there to Towson because we can go break in the Louis Vuitton store, get some bags half price. I can pay some bills. I'm not gonna ride for nothing. I will walk for something. I will protest for something. Going down to DC in the cold back in January to was it January? I can't remember how many months ago it was. I'm not even gonna lie, but it was this year. It was in the cold. I want to say it was January. To sit there and reenact the Women's Suffrage March with the women of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, my mother's sorority. In my opinion, the best sorority in the world because I know nothing but Deltas. Basically, I love my red and white women. And to hear the older women telling me what was going on, my mom talking to me about it, and to walk the route that they did, it was amazing to me. And I took the kids. I didn't take my son, but I took my daughter. And we telling her what was going on so she could understand what she was walking for. So that one day she's going to be older and sit there and say, oh, they're going to talk about the Women's Suffrage March. And she's going to be like, oh, when they reenacted it, I walked that with my grandma and my daddy. These are things that we have to do with our kids. They need to understand these things. They need to go back and see about Underground Railroad. They need to understand about the March on Washington. They need to see what happened in the 60s and want to do it now. They need to see videos of the Million Man March. There's no... Have you noticed that there's been no movies that have been polarizing like when we were younger? I know I'm going off on a tangent again, but I was in high school up at City College, Baltimore City College High School. Best high school in Baltimore City. I'm sorry. I love my friends at Poly, love my friends at Western, but I'm a City Knight forever. Malcolm X came out. I cut school to go see Malcolm X. Malcolm X was like, it blew my mind. My brain was in a whole nother place. We cut school to go see Higher Learning. Movies like this don't exist anymore. This is stuff that they need to see. Because it made you think. It gave you something to talk about. You got the dialogue going. We sit there like, wow, I didn't know that Malcolm went through all this, that, and the third. I didn't know that he was doing this. Because they only teach you about this much stuff during Black History Month. And then the rest of the year, they don't even care about Black history. Even though Black history helped shape this country. Because, as I said in the beginning, this country was built on the backs of black people. There's nothing like that no more. Where are those types of movies? Where are these? Where is the stuff that we need to sit there and talk about, to sit there and show these kids so they can understand stuff? Do the right thing. Wow, it's polarizing. You can sit there and see racism and all these issues going through there. Crooklyn. Like, what happened to our filmmakers like John Singleton and Spike Lee? They older. They should have. The torch has been passed, and there need to be people that's a little younger than do stuff like that. And I'm sorry, Tyler Perry ain't the one to sit there and do that. Tyler Perry movies are cool. He touches on some things. He does. I'm not gonna say he doesn't, but we need that. We need those movie people that can sit there and touch on these race relations. We need these figures that are afraid to press the button and go there. My favorite celebrity right now is Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx is out there. He talks about Trayvon Martin like Trayvon Martin was his own kid. He's always out there talking and support. I think that Jamie Foxx is a great man. There's only so much he can sit there and do. He's in a lot of genres, but we need people like that. People that care. People that aren't just going to get their money, leave the hood, and don't really care about nothing else. Because that's what happens. You can't even get people to stay in Baltimore. All y'all talk about is, I want to leave here. I hate this city. We can't do nothing here. It's a crab mentality. Nobody looks out for each other. Do y'all talk to each other to try to look out for them? Who do you talk to in Baltimore to say we should look out for each other? Who do you support? Y'all be on the quick train to go down to Atlanta. Atlanta's way better. Make Baltimore better. If you make Baltimore better, then we can make Maryland better. You make Maryland better, then we can make the DMV better. Make the DMV better, you can keep spreading. But you gotta start here. You can't start by moving away. Start here. Start here. Look inside yourself. Start with you, and then start making everybody else better around you. Then it's going to be an effect. It's going to keep opening this circle. It's just like a bullseye. You got to start in the middle. Nobody wants to sit there and hit the outer rings. You got to hit the middle ring. And the middle ring is you. The bullseye is you. Look yourself in the mirror. Look yourself in the face. Say, what can I do? What can I do? Stop talking your ear off right now. I think I'm going to do these. I'm going to do a few of these. I really think I'm going to do a few of these. But like I said, start with yourself.